This is the monastery of Dasani, in the peaceful countryside of southern Yugoslavia. The church was decorated with frescoes in the middle of the 14th century. Recently, the question has been asked, do the frescoes of Dasani represent spaceships?
Yes, they do look a bit like spaceships.
In the first ship, we see a man seated, his hand on a stick shift. He is definitely observing the second spaceship.
Please note the aerodynamic form. Jets are clearly seen.
The spectators are protecting their faces with their hands. They are obviously terrified.
There is no explanation for the origin or purpose of these fantastic pictures,
nor for the prehistoric rock paintings discovered at Val Camonica near Brescia in Italy. There are portrayals of strange gods in bulky primitive overalls.
Elijah tells of being whisked up into heaven. But some now believe that perhaps he wasn't talking about the godly realm.
When it comes to the word heaven, in the court of King James, the word heaven literally meant sky. So in the hundreds of places in the Bible that heaven is used, it actually means sky.
Biblical stories about mysterious events in the sky may not be the only ancient sources hinting at UFOs.
As far as the religious beliefs concerning UFOs, they're found throughout every culture. If you go into the most ancient of texts, the old Sumerian texts, they're in there. They're painted on Egyptian walls in ancient tombs. The yogis and lamas in the Eastern thought call them vimanas, and they call them the chariots of the gods.
Thousands of years ago, in an amazing feat of precision, the Nazca people of Peru created perfectly straight lines stretching across their landscape. A plane 37 miles long and a mile wide. Some ufologists wondered whether the design, resembling a modern airport, was used as a runway for alien spaceships. The lines intersect, forming enormous geometric shapes, and include drawings of insects, mammals, and a mysterious humanoid being, which some say resembles a man in a spacesuit.
You can only see them from the sky, and so you have to wonder if these lines weren't drawn to impress beings that were flying in the skies, and therefore the cultures that drew these were trying to at least get the attention of the sky people that they knew were there.
Other ancient civilizations also believed that they were visited by extraterrestrial beings. Kukulkan, a patron god of the Mayans, is said to have descended from the sky and bestowed upon them complex technological and mathematical principles.
One of the ways we can show this is a distinct possibility is by the advanced mathematical capabilities of the Mayans. For instance, a Dresden Codex where they're showing very advanced astronomical tables where they can chart the solar eclipses, the lunar eclipses.
When you talk about the Mayans receiving knowledge from ancient gods who came from the sky, their mathematics, their astronomy, I believe that's entirely rooted in fact, because that same story is echoed everywhere. Native Americans, South American Indians, China, all the Orient, India. That story, or some version of it, that gods came from the sky and gave technology to mankind.
Stories repeating over time and across cultures. Eerily similar themes that appear again and again. The great exodus of the Jews out of Egypt. At the head of this mass migration was Moses, who was in turn guided by a mysterious aerial phenomenon.
And the Lord went before them, by day, in a pillar of cloud, to lead them along the way, and by night, in a pillar of fire, to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night.
It is this element of the story that is especially intriguing to modern UFO researchers. Just who or what was this protector?
I think it was a very large UFO that was dark during the day, and then at night it glowed and provided light for the encampment below them. And at times it would hover for months, for weeks and months at a time.
The pillar cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night started leading the exodus. This was clearly an object in the sky that apparently contained some type of intelligent reality. It was in voice communication with Moses during the whole of the exodus. UFOs are basically playing a game of follow the leader. UFO is the leader.
Though the Pharaoh initially allowed the exodus of the Jews, he changed his mind and charged after them with all the chariots of Egypt and hundreds of his men. It was a chase that led to one of the most spectacular events in the Bible.